In the wake of their father's passing, D'Angelo's children are breaking their silence to honor the legendary soul singer. Son Michael Archer II, 27, has since thanked fans and followers for their social media tributes to his father, whose death comes just 7 months after Archer's mother, Angie Stone, was killed in a car accident. I am grateful for your thoughts and prayers during these very difficult times, as it has been a very rough and sad year for me, he said in a statement released to People. I ask that you please continue to keep me in your thoughts, as it will not be easy. But one thing that both my parents taught me was to be strong, and I intend to do just that. D'Angelo's daughter, Imani, shared a photo tribute on her Instagram stories, showing her sitting with her dad while he played guitar, adding 3 mended heart emojis over the image.
This morning, like 6 in the morning, I still get up on the early schedule, and that's what hurt, because I always be there.
How does someone grow up as a preacher's kid in Richmond, win at the Apollo at 16 singing Johnny Gill, release one of the greatest R&B albums ever made at 21, create the most sensual music video of all time at 26 that made him vanish for 14 years, make an impossible comeback at 40 with Questlove and the Vanguard, battle cancer for years, lose the mother of his son in 1st of March of this year, before succumbing to the disease at 51. Michael Eugene Archer, D'Angelo. Born February 11, 1974 in Richmond, Virginia. Died Tuesday, October 14, 2025, after a prolonged battle with cancer.
D'Angelo, the legendary R&B and soul singer behind hits including Lady, Brown Sugar, and untitled How Does It Feel, has died from cancer at the age of just 51 years old.
Just 7 months after Angie Stone died in a traffic accident, the shining star of our family has dimmed his light for us in this life. That's how his family announced it through RCA Records. Richmond, Virginia, Pentecostal household.
I think people really feel the spirit of it. And it's funny to me, I know both of us are from Pentecostal backgrounds.
Michael Eugene Archer grew up with a preacher father and learned early that the choir was just as powerful as the sermon. Music was a ministry. That's what the church taught him.
Because when I was growing up, coming up in the church, that's all I heard. And everyone would pull me to the side after the church service was over. I was so young. I started when I was 5 playing for the choir.
In 1990, when Michael was just 16 years old, he walked onto the Apollo Theater stage for Amateur Night, the same stage where Ella Fitzgerald and James Brown became legends. He performed Johnny Gill's Rub You the Right Way. He won, and that night changed everything.
I did my own background music. I did my own background vocals. I was like, no, I'm not doing no Luther Vandross or nothing. I'm gonna do some up-tempo. Whatever, I won first place.
By the time he turned 18, Michael made a decision that would define his life. He left Richmond, left his family, left the church, and headed to New York City to chase a professional singing career. The sacred versus the profane, ministry versus music. He chose music. But here's the twist. His first break wasn't even as a singer. In 1994, when he was 20 years old, Michael co-wrote a single called You Will Know for the Jason's Lyric soundtrack. Black Men United performed it. The song cracked the top 10 of the R&B charts, but nobody knew the writer's name yet because Michael Eugene Archer wasn't going by that name anymore. He was D'Angelo now. The following year, in 1995, when D'Angelo was just 21 years old, he dropped Brown Sugar.
Maybe I should. I met her in Philly, and her name was Brown Sugar.
This was neo soul before anyone even called it neo soul. He blended soul, jazz, hip hop, and R&B into something organic. And here's what made it special. D'Angelo played almost every instrument on the album himself. Keyboards, drums, bass, guitar. Critics started comparing this 21-year-old kid from Richmond to Marvin Gaye, Prince, and Stevie Wonder.
Good God Almighty, good God Almighty. Everybody say good Lord. What good Lord?
Brown Sugar went platinum. his first album. And around this time, D'Angelo also became a father with singer Angie Stone. They had a son together, but D'Angelo kept that part of his life private. Then came 5 years of silence. 5 years locked in the studio. Perfectionism took over. D'Angelo was working with Questlove from The Roots on drums, Pino Palladino on bass, Jay Dilla, DJ Premier, the best musicians in the game. And in 2000, Voodoo finally arrived. This album was darker, grittier. Songs like Devil's Pie and Left and Right, featuring Method Man and Redman, showed D'Angelo wasn't afraid to experiment. The album debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200. It won a Grammy for Best R&B Album.
D'Angelo!
Critics called it a masterpiece, but one music video from that album overshadowed everything, and it would make D'Angelo disappear for 14 years. Director Paul Hunter and D'Angelo's then manager Dominique Trenier had a very specific vision for this video. Years later, in 2008, Hunter told Spin magazine, "We made this video for women. The idea was it would feel like he was one-on-one with whoever the woman was." A seemingly nude and ripped D'Angelo singing sensually while looking directly into the camera. No cuts, no edits, just D'Angelo staring into your soul. When BET and MTV premiered it, fans absolutely lost their minds. Women went crazy. Men wanted to be him. D'Angelo became a sex symbol overnight, but he never wanted that. Even Dominique Trenier, who co-directed the video, later expressed disappointment about how it all played out. He told Spin, "Untitled wasn't supposed to be his mission statement for Voodoo. I'm glad the video did what it did, but he and I were both disappointed because to this day, in the general populace's memory, he's the naked dude." The naked dude, one of the greatest musical minds of a generation, had been reduced to a body, a physique, abs. Both the album and the song won Grammys.
I want to thank D'Angelo for believing in the power of orchestral music to surround an R&B song. It was wonderful to work on this project. Thank you very much, D'Angelo. We love you.
D'Angelo was at the absolute peak of his career, and then he cracked. He started gaining weight, drinking heavily. The objectification was too much. He wanted people to focus on the songwriting, the instrumentation, the artistry, not his body. In 2005, D'Angelo was involved in a serious car accident in Richmond. DUI, injuries, rumors about substance abuse and depression started swirling. And then D'Angelo just vanished. For 14 years, D'Angelo was gone. No albums, a few scattered performances here and there, occasional sightings. Fans started wondering if he'd ever come back, if the industry had broken another genius. But D'Angelo was actually healing, working, creating, just on his own terms and his own timeline.
My intention is to make art and to, I don't know, let the spirits, whatever's guiding me, let that, I just want to be a conduit of that, you know.
Then, on December 15th, 2014, with almost no warning, D'Angelo dropped Black Messiah. D'Angelo was 40 years old. He'd recorded the album with a band called The Vanguard. The music was politically charged. Songs like Really Loved and The Charade showed an artist who had evolved, who had survived, who had something important to say. Black Messiah won the Grammy for Best R&B Album.
And the Grammy goes to Really Love, D'Angelo and Kendra Foster.
It topped critics' year-end lists. D'Angelo proved he wasn't just a nostalgia act. He was still relevant, still innovative, still essential. The comeback was complete. But while D'Angelo was touring and reminding the world why he mattered, he was quietly fighting something else, cancer. And he'd been fighting it for years. It was prolonged, courageous, and completely private. Then in March of 2025, while D'Angelo was already battling for his life, tragedy struck. Angie Stone died in a traffic accident following a performance in Mobile, Alabama.
Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter Angie Stone has died in a car accident in Montgomery County.
The mother of his son was gone. A few months later, in October 2025, D'Angelo lost his battle with cancer. Their son had lost both parents months apart. RCA Records released released a statement saying he was a peerless visionary who effortlessly blended the classic sounds of soul, funk, gospel, R&B, and jazz with the hip-hop sensibility. 3 studio albums, Brown Sugar, Voodoo, Black Messiah, each one a masterpiece, each one timeless, each one is influential. Michael Eugene Archer, D'Angelo. He won at the Apollo when he was 16, changed R&B forever at 21, created the most iconic music video of the 90s when he was 26, disappeared at 31, made an impossible comeback at 40, lost Angie when he was 51, and died from cancer just a few months later. He proved you didn't have to rush. You could take your time, make art on your own terms. And if it were real, people would wait. And they did. For 14 years, they waited, and he delivered. Rest in peace.